hear about like this company, right? This carbon company.
Yeah,
can you explain
for sure. There's this company apparently. So I was just checking the news, and I came up with this article about this company named Carbon Engineering. It's like based in British Columbia, and it's backed by like big companies like Chevron. It's backed even by Bill Gates, dude.
Bill Gates,
out of all people. And then, so what this company does is it recycles CO2 in the air. So,
what do you know the name of the company?
Carbon Engineering. That's the name of the company. So, the company is basically using this procedure named direct air capture, which kind of like, so the air, like, imagine they have these equipments, right?
Yeah.
So the air passes through their equipment, and this liquid falls out while the air passes.
Okay.
And then it has, I'm not sure about the complete chemistry of it, but it's not just pure carbon, obviously. There's a bunch of stuff in the liquid, and they do a procedure, and they get something else which is in solid form, like, like tiny BB bullets,
Yeah.
And then they burn those to get carbon for later use.
Oh, okay.
And since they're not like backed by anybody, like right now, they are backed.
So they're like a private.
They are company. Kind of, but like they weren't going to initially be backed by Chevron because obviously Chevron is a gas company, and like gas and fossil fuels hurt the environment. So it wouldn't be a good idea for a company that's trying to fix the environment to partner up with a company that's like just destroying it. So what they're doing is this: they're selling the carbon back to them, so they can make like gas and like resources and energies for cars and other like vehicles to continue working and stuff, which kind of like, if it actually like goes to a very big scale, like I don't think they're going to think of any other like ways of improving the environment or like fixing like what is it called, the issue of like the carbon dioxide levels, So basically the reason I was interested was because I did a science fair my sophomore year with in Mr. Han's class, AP biology, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember that was my my science fair. So I went to the NOAA site, and then with their website, and I was trying to see if the carbon dioxide levels had to do anything with the temperature or the climate change.
Yeah, climate change, global warming.
Exactly, right. So I was trying to see if they resonate at all. So what I found in the science fair that I did, that it does, because the carbon dioxide levels have risen since like 1800s, or like since the industrial age, right? Like it has increased massively since like before that it wasn't anything like that, right? And then from that point on, the temperature has gotten hotter and hotter and hotter, and their goal right now is to just keep it at 1.5 centimeter globally, because as it goes higher, the ice melts. So if the ice melts, the water rises, like the water rises. Yeah. And then once that happens, then it's not good because first of all,
cities will go under.
Exactly. There could be tsunamis, and then it does affect the sea life as well, like the creatures in the ocean, fish, all the stuff that we eat. So
it's gonna have a big impact on the world globally.
For sure, dude. For sure, yeah.
Yeah, like global warming. Like, what do you think other solutions are? Like, what can like normal people like us do every day? Like,
I mean, I'm no scientist. There's still a debate that if there is a global warming or there isn't. I'm 100% sure there's a climate change happening, which is basically the change of the climate that through like the different decades. There's ups and downs. It's hot, it's cold. But I believe like the humans do leave a footprint that affects the trend of the pattern. Like, if I'm not sure about how like we affected when it goes cold, but we definitely affected when it goes hot, because we do produce a lot of carbon dioxide. And I'm again no scientist, but certain things people could do is right now I checked so the main thing that they use, the main thing, like a good over like half of the energy resources are still fossil fuels.
Yeah.
The second, no, I'm so sorry. Oh. The first one is right now in China, at least, it's hydro, water. They produce energy through water, at least for electricity, correct?
Yeah.
And then the number 2 is fossil fuels for all the cars and everything. And then the third one is nuclear energy, and then the last one, which is a very tiny percentage, is solar. What I would think is, I mean, not a regular person can do this.
Yeah.
It's definitely somebody who's educated enough, or some scientists. They should, if you ask me, focus on the solar one, because I mean, we have a sun, and 24/7, somewhere around the globe, it's shining. So you can always use that energy. But for what regular people could do, obviously, they could maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure, because if you carpool with someone, it doesn't have that much of an effect.
Yeah.
But if you do it on a massive, like I don't know, like if you do it, like if it's known globally that if you carpool, I don't know, you might save some stuff, some less carbon dioxide will be produced. But that's not even the main thing. The main thing right now is, based on what I've seen, the cattle raising. So the raising of the cattle produces a lot of carbon dioxide. It
like the greenhouse gases.
Yeah. Like greenhouse gases for the biomass that they produce to feed them. Like all the biomass, imagine that, like they consume to, like, grow up, and so we can just eat them. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna go vegan or anything. I really love meat, but that definitely does have an effect on it, probably more than cars.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Like planes also, I think, have a huge impact.
Of course.
More and more, like Tesla is, of course, an electric car company, and they're doing their part to try to advance cars to becoming more and more electric, which is happening like over time. But do you think like we'll ever like get planes to start going in that direction? Like, what do you think?
Honestly, I've never thought of that.
Yeah,
now that you just brought this up, that's
like
insane.
There are like so many planes flying every day, like
of course.
all day and all night, like and they have a lot of like jet fuel that's going into them, and I don't think that's like too like bad.
Yeah, dude.
For the
imagine charging your plane. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be very cool. I mean, I feel like that's gonna be a way for like maybe the next, I don't know, 2-3 decades. But that's a I've never thought of that. That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. The planes, because like especially since they're like flying at 300 or 30,000 feet, right? Like that's not too good for the ozone layer as well. Like in Australia, you know that the ozone layer isn't like, it's not there, so that's gonna make a huge impact.
I feel like it's just area in Australia that is suffering from that. But I mean, there's so many things they could do, but I don't know. We will see what happens. It really depends to different countries as well. Like the U.S. definitely, like the skies above us here right now in California, isn't as polluted as like skies, let's say in like some parts of China, Russia, even Iran, like their sky is pretty polluted, and it does have to do with their gas and their factories, the gas that they put in cars, but it's just a lot of things. A lot of things go hand in hand.
Like third world countries that are still developing,
of course,
like they don't have the resources to build like that big.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not just it is the resources, but besides, it's definitely the resources. But besides that, I mean, it's just people as well. You can educate people. People who are educated in and if you can keep the smart people in your country and have them, achieve great things, make inventions that can help like humanity, go forward and support them.